Thursday night football, the very first game that is going to be directly streaming on Amazon Prime Video. And before we talk about that game, just a real quick recap of the week one, our week one predictions. I went 4-2 overall, had a very good Sunday, 4-1. The ball bounced a little strange there in the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game, but 4-1 on Sunday. Missed the Thursday night game last week, picked the Rams, and the Bills lit them up. But, hey, that's why they play the games. But now we're going to talk about the Thursday night game here on Amazon Prime. The schedule makers made sure that they put a really dynamic game in here for the first Thursday night on Amazon. And of course, that is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers come off of a pretty nice, we'll call it a revenge game against the Raiders. The Raiders knocked them out of the playoff picture last year in the final game of the season. They got their rematch, and they got a small measure of revenge in week one, and Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of talk about not being able to have a big offense without Tyreek Hill. At one point in time, they had a 30-point lead on the Arizona Cardinals and ended up winning that game quite handily. But let's talk about the Chargers and some of the things that they've done here in the offseason. Basically, they wanted to bolster their offensive line. They wanted to improve their defense, and they were able to do that. They signed free agent J.C. Jackson, cornerback from the New England Patriots. Now, he didn't play in week one because he's recovering from an injury, but Khalil Mack was brought in from a trade with the Chicago Bears, and he has really helped improve the pass rush. When you have a big-time player on one side, like Joey Bosa, and then on the other side you got Khalil Mack, it causes the offensive line of your opponents to really have to knuckle down because you can't double-team everybody. Justin Herbert, of course, is in his third year as the starting quarterback, and he's got a lot of dynamic playmakers on the field. Unfortunately, in this particular game, he's going to be without Keenan Allen, so we're going to see a lot of Mike Williams, and he'll probably be getting it to his new best target, just come over from the Seattle Seahawks, and that's in the form of Gerald Everett, their new starting tight end. As for the Kansas City Chiefs, we talked about them last week. They have improved all over the field with their pass rush, George Karlaftis. They brought in Trent McDuffie for the, in the corner spot to improve their secondary. They looked very good and very dynamic in their first game of the season. Of course, Andy Reid is the kind of coach that draws up a lot of new plays every season, likes to pull some surprises. Chiefs playing at home here in this particular game, but I think this is going to be a white knuckler. I think this is probably the best two teams in the AFC West, a division that everybody has pretty much unanimously said this is the best division in football this year. With all of the movement, the free agency, the draft and everything involved, all four of these teams, including the Broncos, who added Russell Wilson, the Raiders added Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones. This is going to be a fight to the finish to be, who's going to win the division. And this is the first divisional game for the Chiefs. They've won the division several years in a row. Of course, they've been, the top dog in the AFC Championship game 4 years running, and they're looking to continue that streak. But they're going to have to get by teams like the Los Angeles Chargers here in order to be able to do that. And so for me, I look at this particular game, I think that either team could win, but because the Chiefs are playing at home, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. That's going to bring us to our spotlight players of the game. Couple of tight ends here. As we mentioned before, Gerald Everett, the new starting tight end, came over from Seattle after 1 year there, started his career with the Los Angeles Rams. He's already caught a touchdown from Herbert this season, and he looks to be a good blocker, and he's going to give the safeties and linebackers for the Kansas City Chiefs some fits here on Thursday night. As for the Chiefs tight end, it is the second string tight end, Jody Fortson. He started his career as a wide receiver and has converted to tight end. He's a big body, he has some speed, and he's very dangerous in the red zone. So both of these guys you're going to want to look at for making some big plays here in this particular game. I failed to mention earlier that Patrick Mahomes hurt his non-throwing hand, but it didn't really affect him when it came to the game. That he was still able to stay in. He threw the 5 touchdown passes against Arizona. One of them was to Jody Fortson. And so there you have it. My breakdown and Thursday night pick for the first Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. I hope you've enjoyed my new videos, and I hope you'll continue to stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. That way you don't miss any of my predictions throughout the season. And let's see, be sure to check out this side over here, right here, and check out my preseason predictions for the entire NFL. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again on Sunday for all of my Week 2 predictions.